So I recently matched with one of the most handsome men I've ever seen in my entire life. Easily. One of the most handsome men I've ever seen in my entire life. Only qualm I have is based on his career. I estimate that he probably makes anywhere from $65,000 to $70,000 a year. I make 4 to 5 times more than that. Do y'all think that relationships with that large of a pay gap can survive? Is that shallow for me to ask? Like, these are just the things that really are on my mind as I'm dating. And I specifically mean when it's the woman making significantly more, because I feel like it is normalized for the man to make more. But in terms of how I grew up, my mom made significantly more than my dad, and that does not come without issues. Okay?
Shout out to the content creator, her sharing her perspective as always. Let me say this. Are there situations where the man's making more and he used that as a tool of leverage versus his woman? Yes. Are there a lot of movies out there that women have watched and that particular scenario or situation have been portrayed in a very negative way? Yes. And I think this is the issue where they get caught up in this fantasy sometimes. And again, I'm not going to say this wholeheartedly, but majority of the time that I've seen, when men make more money, it's not an issue. It's not an issue. It's not a power trip. Is for men, it's like, I want to make more money so I can provide a certain way of lifestyle for me to feel like I'm being fulfilled with purpose, because I am doing my innate natural thing of providing and protecting, and it's making my wife happy, right? But it just seemed like the conversation always rolled back to when the woman's making more money, it seemed like it always come off as a power trip. Why is that? You know what I mean? And again, most dudes that I know and that really speak on this topic, let me say it like this. Dudes don't really, for the most part, we not tripping about money. And here's the thing. I feel like because men have always had money and been in a position to have money, we've matured in a way of money's just a tool for us. Yeah, are there outliers where for some dudes, money is their whole persona, their whole image? Yes, right? They like to flaunt it, this and that. But for real wealth, for dudes who are making $60,000, $70,000, they not worried about attempting to use the money in a way of, let me use it as a form of control. They looking at it like, how can I support my family and we be happy, right? No matter X amount of dollars that they're making, they're looking to give, to not use though. And again, there are scenarios like that, but that's not what I see. And the example I was leaning towards was when a dude could date a girl from Chick-fil-A, right, who just fast food, and we are looking to pour into them no matter what we make. And that's the thing. But when it's on the shoe on the opposite side, it just seemed like it's a tool of power. Like, oh, I want to control this man because I'm making more money than him. Or I don't look at him as far as, I look at him below me because I make more money. You see what I'm saying? I feel like, and I hate to say it this way, but I gotta say it. I feel like because women are just starting to really make money, the psychology of it, they haven't matured into it yet, right? And I'm all for women getting money. Don't get it twisted. Run your bag up. But I think the generalization is they haven't matured into money as a whole, right? And so it's like new money. You know how you never had no money? You trying to run it up. You trying to spend it on this, do this and that. You feel like you smelling yourself. That's what I kind of get from a lot of women who are just coming into money. and they don't really understand it like that. And I'm not talking about from a budgeting standpoint, from an investment standpoint. I'm talking about from a psychological standpoint, especially when they're making more than a man. Because when I was young, I've been in one situation where I dated a young lady, and she actually owned a gas station, and she had way more money than me. But it didn't matter to me. You know what I mean? What mattered is who she was as a person, like her character and things like that. And, you know, because that was my approach, I never got treated as such, as less than. Now, she could have been thinking that, but I didn't care. And I had my own money anyway. You know what I mean? Obviously, I wasn't making as much, but you couldn't buy me because you had more money. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was like, okay. And we don't care, like, the same way when we measuring up the other guys who got more money, we don't look at the physical point of money. We look at it like, man, that dude got more. He has a tool to get more resources, which will pour back into his situation to make his situation better, not to be on a power trip. You know what I'm saying? That's not how we think. That's not how we wired. And I just see it in her eyes, man. I just hate it. Like, the eyes are the windows to the soul. And you just hear her talking about it. And, you know, she just said that even from her parents, and, you know, she got, I guess, an example on what that looked like. But that should be actually a benefit to her, because she was like, she should take on the mentality of, I seen how my mom and dad situation occurred when my mom was making more money, and how it affected their relationship and their marriage. So either if she has that mentality as well, picked up from her mom, either she does need to find a dude who make the same amount of money. But here's the thing. The dudes who make the type of money that she make, and you can tell her personality, they not going to want her though. Right? They not going to want her because, yeah, they just not going to want her though, man. Because she again, I don't know her personally. I'm not judging her on that way, but I can just, me getting the energy from how she's speaking and how she's delivering her message, it's the same story, man. It's the same story. And again, maybe she's a sweetheart, but the energy I'm getting from this, no. Like, I can tell she probably on a power trip. The fact that she even brought it up. Like, why should that matter? If you love the dude, if he has great character, right? He pours into you with love and his money, even though he don't make as much. I get, like, maybe he can't match your lifestyle, but maybe he providing value in other ways, right? He's helping you out with things that he's taking things off your plate to make your life easier. Why should it matter? Because if you have the lifestyle and you have enough money to afford it, he bringing you the intangible things, why should it matter? Because I'm telling you, men, we approach it like that. When we have the money, we not looking, that's what the conversation be. We're looking for a wife to pour into us with the intangible things, right? The things that bring us value. It's not always financial. That's never our first approach. Like, oh man, let me see how much money she got. No, we like, you know, how's her character? You know, is she beautiful? Does she carry herself like a woman? You know, how's her family? What's her background? You know, does she love me a certain way? Is she sweet? Is she caring? Is she love? We're looking at characteristics. We're looking at intangible. We're looking at things that bring value. The last thing we're looking at is how much money you got, what kind of car. That's why I just made the point of a dude to date a girl who work at fast food, who has no money, but she could be sweet as pie, and he gon' pour into her. Right? That's just how we wired. Money is the last thing. Unless you're a simp like, you know, them Tyrones and Chads, who the brokies, who just looking to play women for money, and they not looking to, you know, do anything with their life. You know, you have those out there, but that's the exception, not the rule. Right? The rule is there's a lot of good men out here who are making the $60,000, $70,000 a year, and they looking just to build with somebody, no matter what the other person brings financially. You know, they looking at the intangible things that woman bring. But again, you know, I'm not knocking her. If she can want what she want. Listen, everybody got this one life to live. Everybody can want what they want, but I'm just telling you how we wired as man. We don't approach it like that. And so for us, it's not a problem. But for y'all, a lot of women, not all women, but a lot of women, it's an issue. Because I feel like it's new money. Y'all smelling yourselves. And y'all like, for somehow it's been wired in y'all that, you know, hey, if my standard is up here when it comes to financially, then he has to match that. But your standard as far as your character may be in a negative. You know what I'm saying? So that needs to be your first approach, is how's your character? Not how much money you make. We as men care less about that than how your character, how we being treated by you. So raise that income, raise your character income, right? Raise your character value, raise those intangibles, raise that value outside of money. And that's what matters to us. And that's what should matter to you when it comes to women looking for men when y'all making more money. So that's my take on it. You know, what y'all think, man? Drop a comment below. Subscribe to The Husband Code if it's your first time. If you've been watching for a while, subscribe. Also, if you got any value from this video, hit that like button. Also, hit the notification bell, because we dropping videos like this constantly, all the time. And until next time, I appreciate y'all. Much love. Peace.